that adds 5 specific protections to the ones we already have, to obtain, use, possess, cultivate, transport, and deliver. In addition to those, if you're collectively and cooperatively organized, the court says you are legal to sell and to distribute and to maintain a warehouse and to manage a warehouse and to avoid nuisance ordinances. That's a whole new idea of expansion of our rights, where the court has a right at least as often as the voters, it appears to me at this point. That's how we defeated Measure B. We lost at the ballot barely, and then our plan all along was to challenge on constitutional grounds in the courts, because we knew that Kelly and then later Konbaki mandated that the court decide that Measure B fit within that category of unconstitutional initiatives because it was a 6-plant limit that be adopted by attaching itself to 420 and the 6-plant limit. It was a foregone conclusion, and we were confident ultimately in the victory of that perspective. Oh yes. As for this model of collective cooperative cultivation projects, you can make money through a reasonable salary, through provision of medicine, quote unquote, providing the medicine, which is what dispensaries do, according to Ursus Young, in addition to getting expenses paid for. They're not trying to say you can't make money. They're trying to say make it in a more acceptable way to society, given that marijuana in general is still basically illegal. And they're trying to say these are the steps that we, the court, recommend, the stepping stones we recommend you take towards the future. All right, and then number 4 is, in terms of basic needs, is that we shouldn't be afraid to challenge laws in the courts through citizens' complaints, civil lawsuits. That was the key to our defeating B. 2 medical marijuana patients, Ralph Laguna and George Hanamoto, filed on grounds that B was unconstitutional as it was set out in Senate Bill 420. They filed their brief a few days before Kelly came down. So nobody had any inside information that the Kelly decision was going to be such a whopper. They already knew. They went to the Constitution and cited that section and said, therefore Measure B applies. And we had savvy lawyers that way, Merriman and Nick, who were really on it. And we just walked away with what appeared a few weeks before to be a defeat as a ballot. We just walked away by transforming the arena because we insisted on having some control over the process ongoingly. That is, if we lost at the ballot, we had constitutional issues to face with the court. Those are in a nutshell. I could say more about some of the things we faced, but I don't know that I want to take more time. I'll just mention here extremely quickly that we were accused of voter fraud. The No on B campaign was accused of voter fraud by the Yes on B people. After they won, being sore winners, they just tossed all of this stuff that we did wrong out there. We knew there wasn't anything to it, but it was repeated over and over again. They dragged Dale Geringer into it, the one who had helped us the most. And as it turns out, the registrar said, no, there's nothing here, nothing to it, none of these allegations fit. Case closed. And so we came out ahead again, despite several weeks of bad press and bad vibes. This is to say that when you're in control of what you believe in, and, the policies for the future, what we need to have the voters weigh in on, since they're our best bet, we need to believe that history will get us there one way or another, so let's try it all.